Just be glad for all you have that's in today.
Hey everyone, Connie here, and welcome to my blind reaction to Star vs. the Force of Evil, Season 4, Episodes 3 and 4. I'm not going to sugarcoat it, I'm in a really bad mood right now. I just recorded my reaction to Mob Psycho Season 2, Episode 8, so I'm in a really, really fucking bad mood. I don't know if that's going to end up being up before this, it probably will, so just watch that for why I'm in a bad mood, but let's try to focus on the good stuff here. Let's try to focus on Star Versus. First two episodes of the season, pretty good. I enjoyed them. Not like the best that the show has had to offer, but pretty good. Now, I do unfortunately know a spoiler for these episodes. I think it's for episode 4, though I'm not sure. I think it's episode 4. And I don't know all of the details surrounding it, but I do know one big spoiler. I was just unable to avoid it, I guess, because of the people and pages I follow and stuff, and it was just something I saw in very bold text. I did not expect to see it. I was not, like, it was really sudden. So it's not, like, it wasn't a video on YouTube. It wasn't, it was on Twitter, actually. I saw it in really bold text. It was just the text, too. And it was just like, there wasn't a picture, so I don't know the details behind it, but it said something along the lines of Star versus Season 4. I think it said episode 4, and it was like Star Butterfly comes out as bisexual. And I talked about I did mention this on Twitter. I said I hate being spoiled to something, but at the same time, I actually love what I was spoiled to. Because I love LGBT representation in media. It's one of my favorite things in a lot of current cartoons, anime, live-action TV shows, all of that stuff. It's fantastic to see. Movies and games and stuff as well. And Star Versus has really been on the ball with a lot of good representation. Marco is a phenomenal example of that, being a male princess and everything. On top of that, the show has actually featured LGBT couples kissing and stuff. So it's like, yeah, Star Versus is definitely on the ball with that. So it's not surprising, this kind of thing. But it's not surprising that they would do this, but it's surprising that it actually did happen here. I just wasn't expecting it. Now, again, I do not know the context behind it at all. I do not know, like, okay, so I don't know how Star's going to come out as bisexual. I don't know if it's going to explicitly say something or if it's just going to very heavily imply it or even just slightly imply it. Because, admittedly, there are a lot of sources out there that will go gaga over things and try to overstate things, basically. They'll take some tiny little grain of thing in an episode and overblow it completely. Basically make a mountain out of a molehill. And I mean, here's the thing. The page I saw this from on Twitter is reliable. I know I can trust this, so I believe this is real, even though that's the only place I saw this. Because after I saw it, I really started avoiding shit until I could get to this. But yeah, it's just like, I don't know exactly how this is going to go at all. I doubt it's going to be the way I would like it to go. Because for those who are in the know, I do ship Star with Jana. And I really doubt it's going to go there. I really doubt it would also go shipping her with Jackie. I don't think it's going to be a character we've seen before. If it does even involve a character, if it's just some kind of off, like, just kind of wave of the hand thing, like, oh, I like girls too, or something, or like I've had a girlfriend or something like that. Something like just kind of waved off, kind of in the background thing. Like that, I feel could be handled well. I don't know, though. I don't know the context, and I'm really excited to find out, though. But yeah, I believe it said it was episode 4. It has to be 3 or 4. Um, I'm really excited to find out. Luckily, just talking about this is getting my mood up after watching Mob Psycho. So, yeah, it's just kind of needed to get to this. Hopefully, no one comes home before it finishes because, yeah, I'm getting to this later than I wanted to. So we're going to get into this. We're just going to start. So when the screen fades to black, pause this redirect and go to the description below. Follow the link to the reaction, and after you watch it, come back here to the redirect and resume play. Because after it fades to black and then fades back in, everything from that point forward will be my afterthoughts and will contain spoilers to the episodes. So that being said, thank you so much for tuning in, and I will see you at the reaction. Okay, and we are back, and we will begin with spoilers in 3, 2, 1, now. Okay, so at the beginning of this reaction, at the beginning of the pre-thoughts, I was in a bad mood because of Mob Psycho. I'm glad I decided to watch this after. I am so, like, happy and everything right now because of this series. Like, I miss this so much. The first 2 episodes, like, alone were good. Again, nothing spectacular, though. I think I like these ones more. So we had the 2 minisodes in each episode. So episode 3A was about the continued regaining of Queen Moon's memories and her trying to kind of deal with things. We find out by the end that she just doesn't trust in Eclipsa, and that she and River are going to just kind of go build their own new home and everything and just kind of be on their own and everything. Which is interesting, and I'm interested to see what they do with that in the future. I like that scene with Eclipsa and Moon shredding on the guitar. That was fantastic. I love that. And seeing and the episode going more into Globcore as well. And speaking of that, that goes into the next part of episode 3, in which Eclipsa was fighting with Romulus. So she had messed up Romulus and gotten Star for help, and after reversing her spells, she and Romulus continued to fight about whether or not to release Globcore or not. They continued to have their problems and disagreements, and she went out of hand again, even doing this Freaky Friday body swap with him, just to use his powers to release Globcore. And she almost does it, but Star manages to convince her not to. I am actually really surprised she stopped, that she held back. And I think that's kind of leading to a hint that she might actually legitimately be good. That she's not a bad guy and that she's not pretending. Because I really don't see why she would have stopped if she was just pretending. So I think she is good, but I think she doesn't fully know how to be just completely good and nice and everything. She's having trouble still, and she's adjusting to things in her own way. The episode was really funny. I like the nipple demon part of it and everything. And yeah, it just had a really good resolution. There was some fun stuff with Tom having some identity issues there because of Eclipse's spell. That was hilarious. And Glossaric had some good parts in it too, such as the fact that he can be in 2 places at once. That's good. And of course, Marco trying to find the bathing suit and all. But episode 4, I think, really shined even further than that. So in the first episode, Star builds Marco a wing onto her room in the Monster Temple to give him his own room while he's there. We see a telegram, or ransomgram demon come in, say that he's been I don't know what, I don't know, I'm just going to say it. The ransomgram demon says that it's been looking for Marco's room for months, and reveals that these Netherland, I think was what it was called, these ice demons, let's just call them ice demons. The ice demons have stolen Nachos and want their sword back. So they go to that world where Marco is his older, ripped self. Good to see that again. I like that. And we see, obviously, Star fawning over his abs and everything. But then we get into this new character, who I don't remember her name right now, but she's awesome and badass and hot. And we see Star fawn over her, too. showing that Star has a thing for girls too. That and it's not just like, it's not just like a thing like admiring her strength and everything. Like the blush, the constant blushing, and that one line especially, like when she's beating up all the enemies and stuff, and she's like, "Who's next?" And Star's like, "Can I be next?" It's like that is, in my eyes, solid evidence. That is definitely the kind of thing you say regarding a person who you have a thing for. I love that line. And I talked about how I love representation in media, and I really wish I had not known about this beforehand, that Star was bi. Again, I didn't know the details of how it was going to be revealed, so I'm glad about that. But um, I love representation in media for the LGBT community, and this is fantastic because Star Versus has done some great things, and having the character of Star, the main character, be revealed as bi is huge. It's the same kind of thing as what they did with Korra and Asami in Legend of Korra, except here it's more explicit. It's not like, again, straight up saying that she's bi or anything, but it's very explicit still. Again, that one line kind of proves it. um, and it was just so well done because it wasn't made to be like this massive point of the episode. It's just Star fawning over her, and it's like that's adorable and awesome. And again, being the main character just makes it even better. And we even got to see a little bit of the Princess Marco stuff in that episode too, with the new line of dolls. I love the fact that it's like the pull string on the one. It's like disestablish the patriarchy or whatever. That's fucking hilarious. Um, that's great. But in all seriousness, it was just really cool to see that. It's really awesome to see these shows just being so open about this nowadays. From the Loud House having Clyde have two fathers, gay fathers and everything, to so many other things. Steven Universe just being Steven Universe. This now, it just, as a member of the LGBT community, as a trans girl, as someone who's pan, it really means a lot to see this. It really does. I mean, heck, people were saying that Star is bi specifically, but she could be pan. She could be. But it just means a lot either way for shows to show this kind of representation. And it's wonderful to see it handled in such a good way, too. It doesn't feel forced. It doesn't feel unnatural. It's just Star fawning over someone, being cute. And it's not even saying that she necessarily would cheat on Tom with them. And that goes into the next episode. But it's just like, I really love how this is being handled. It just feels so good, you know? And speaking of the next part of episode 4, 4B. So Tom and Star hang out together at the underworld beach with Tom's family, the Lucitor family. Lord and Lady Lucitor there, as well as Rathmelior's sister and her boyfriend. And apparently Rathmelior's size is unnatural because her older sister is so much smaller and made a point of noting how huge she is. So that's funny. So the episode focuses on, there's this big storm that comes around, and Star has to be trapped there with them instead of going to hang out with Marco and his family. So we see them trying to get along, play games, make some drinks and everything. Along with Tom's great-great-grandfather, or whatever it was, who's just a screeching chibi vampire thing, which is hilarious in and of itself. And they're all trying to get along, but Star notices that Rathmelior is kind of being cold toward her. And we come to find out that after Star and Marco's first breakup, Rathmelior, while she likes Star, is just worried that Star's going to hurt Tom again. Because she cares about her son, and rightfully so. So she's scared. And when we find out at the end that she created the storm that trapped them there, I think she wanted Star to be there, and she wanted Star to be there for Tom. Again, if she likes Star and just doesn't want her to break Tom's heart again, she's trying to make it work. She's trying to kind of put it together. At the end, though, we see Star kind of storm out of the house, like she's going to leave and everything. Tom chases her out and is swept away by a wave. Star rescues him, which patches up her relationship with Rathmelior, and everything just kind of is okay again. And it's a beautiful episode. When you really cut down to it, it's a beautiful episode that really gives some good depth to Rathmelior. Like, of all characters, I never expected Tom's mother to really get that huge amount of depth added to her this season. This is the final season of the show. This is a character who we've known about for a little bit now. And they're finally giving her this big amount of depth, but it doesn't feel unnatural, or it doesn't feel like it just came out of nowhere or just too late. Because she was never a major character. But having an episode that gives her this depth and that even builds upon the Lucitor family, it just feels nice considering their relationship, Star and Tom's. And this episode really hammered it in for me that I love them as a couple. And I really think that they should end the series together rather than Star with Marco. I fully stand by my previous statements that I don't think Star and Marco have romantic chemistry. But Star has so much fucking romantic chemistry with Tom. They're perfect for each other. And just the idea that they used to be together, broke up, and then came back together and are really happy together now is so wonderful. I like that kind of concept. And it's worked in real life, too. Miley Cyrus and Liam Hemsworth. They got married, and they had broken up before and got back together. Things work out like that, where it's like, oh, you'll break up for one reason or another. You need time apart to really reevaluate yourselves and get things back in order. And then when you're able to come back together, you really start to understand how much you did love each other and how much you love each other even more now that you're more connected to not only yourselves, but each other because of it. So it just hammers in that they're a perfect couple. And while I would love to see Marco get back together with Jackie, I unfortunately don't think that's going to happen. In fact, I really don't think Jackie's going to be really that focused on anymore. I think she, unfortunately, was kind of thrown off to the side when the breakup happened, which really shouldn't have happened, but unfortunately it did. But Marco, I don't think, really needs to have a romantic interest. I would be okay with him getting back together with Jackie, and I'd be okay with him getting with Kelly or someone like that, maybe. Even Hekapoo. Hell, I'd be game for that. But at the same time, it's like, I don't think he actually needs someone. I've talked all this time about, like, oh, I want Star to end up being with Tom, or best case scenario, by my own shipping with Jana or something like that. But it's like, I've always said, like, oh, I would love to see Marco get back together with Jackie or get together with Kelly because of the chemistry they do have. But when I really think about it now, it's like, maybe he doesn't need to. Maybe, like, Star ending the series with Tom would be great, but maybe Marco just doesn't need to end the series with someone as well. Not every character has to be in a couple with someone else. So maybe he just doesn't need to. Maybe Marco will end the series not alone, that's the wrong way to put it, but just not as part of any romantic relationship. And that's okay. So yeah, I really, really like these episodes. Definitely episode 4 more than episode 3, but I did love episode 3. Don't get me wrong. Episode 4 was just a lot more exciting for me. And again, I really, really wish I hadn't known about that beforehand. I really wish I didn't know about Star being revealed as bi beforehand, bi or pan. Um, but at the same time, again, I didn't know the details behind it, so it didn't really ruin it for me. Um, God, Star, you're adorable. And I mean, I can side with Star there. She's pretty fine. Yeah, the girl whose name I cannot think of. Um, I like her lightning axe. Kind of makes me think of Thor with Stormbringer. Um, and I like her steed. I like her horned polar bear thing. That's neat. Plus, she's just badass. Let's be honest. Like that, the moment when she was carrying Star, it's like I knew it's like, oh, Star is in heaven right now. um, and I like that it was followed up by the episode with her and Tom and everything, because that very much made it clear that it's like, yeah, you can find someone extremely attractive and feel very into them without necessarily wanting to be with them. You know, I fully believe that she's loyal to Tom and she would not cheat on him here. But at the same time, I do think that it's like it acknowledges that Marco in his older body with all the abs and stuff is very attractive to her. She finds it hot. She's into it. And she's into this other woman as well. And that's fine. You can find someone attractive even if you're not with them. That's just honestly, that's just human nature. It's not like you're going to just stop finding people attractive just because you're with a partner. No, that doesn't even make sense. If you find someone attractive, they're still going to be attractive even if you're with someone. You just don't necessarily want to be with them. You just find them attractive. um, and Star being a teenager as she is, just she does tend to be a bit more how do I word it? A bit more drawn in by those kind of feelings because hormonal stuff. Like that's just a legitimate thing. I mean, when I was a teenager, I was definitely very drawn into those feelings. Um, a lot more so than I am now, but I mean, not that I'm not now, but still. um, I mean, you could technically say more now because nowadays I actually know I'm pan and everything, rather than back when I was a teenager, I thought I was straight and everything. So you don't want to be technical, but you get what I'm saying. I just really like how those were two episodes that were bunched together because it works well to really establish her feelings regarding all this stuff. And I like that. I like that. So yeah, these were some good episodes. Two very good episodes, both with two very good mini-sodes within them. And yeah, this season is really proving itself. The first two episodes may not have been as good as these two, but they were still good. So I think season 4 is going to go out on bang. I wish we didn't have 2 episodes each week, but what can you do? Either way, tell me in the comments below what you thought of these 2 episodes. What do you think about Star being bi or pan? Tell me your thoughts on all of on that and so much more on the Lucitor family's development, on everything we got with Eclipsa and Moon, and even Romulus. Tell me your thoughts on all of that and more in the comments below, and thank you so much for tuning in. For now, I'm Connie, and I'm signing off. See y'all next time.
And though you've come through many obstacles,